The other thing we really need to discuss in a little bit more detail is the upper world and the lower world again. I know we mentioned them before and kind of touched on what they were there for and what they represented, but you may well, although we're not doing a guided meditation to specifically go there and do the specific work you do in them, which are, usually you practice journeying for a while before you specifically go into the upper or the lower world. But people quite often find themselves just there. You go in the middle world and suddenly you're in the upper world or you're in the lower world for short periods of time. But it's not uncommon to just be drawn there for part of a vision, or for a vision concerning a particular area that pertains to the specific dealing with past issues of the underworld or the intellectual enlightenment energies that are in the upper world. So you will quite often just be drawn there. So I think we should cover it a little bit. If you do visit the upper or the lower world whilst journeying, you will probably meet some new guides. It's fine. So quite often, they will approach you and your main spirit guide will be present, or sometimes your spirit guide leads you to them. Sometimes it's once you get there, sometimes it's after you come back, sometimes it's before you go. No hard and fast rules to this, like much of the journeying work, it can vary a lot. Treat these guides exactly as you would your main spirit guide. It's, if you meet them, I would go through the exercises that we did with our guide of making sure you connect with them, because even if they're not a guide that's going to be with you long, which sometimes they're not, and this goes for other guides you may be introduced to in the middle world while doing journeying work as well, even if they're not permanent guides, it's important to build some sort of a relationship with them to get the most out of your journeying work and to get the most from them. So yeah, make sure you do that. People often go, well, how will I know I'm there? If you travel to the upper world, it does very much feel like being drawn up or walking uphill. A lot of people say they enter via climbing up trees and being led up trees. Some people say walking up mountain paths. I've had people climbing ladders. You get all sorts of strange, different ways of doing it. Some very strange, some very normal, whatever normal is. So you will kind of be taken there. Sometimes it's very quick. Sometimes, it feels as if people are going on a real slog. It's like going on a mission. We're going on a quest to the upper world, and it's going to take us a half-hour journey just to get there. But sometimes people literally say it felt like someone just pulled us up the train. I was there. Again, that both completely common. The lower world, similarly, feels like you're being drawn down. Very common way of entering the lower world is to go through water, is to go down into water, and then suddenly you're in a different place. Walking down into caves, following tree roots into the earth, following a staircase down. I've had someone go over a waterfall in a boat, ended up in the lower world. Loads of different ways. But again, you will kind of be taken there. There does definitely feel like a bit of a shift. And again, sometimes it can be really quick, and sometimes it can feel as if you're going on a mission. The main part of the journey is, right, we're going to go to the lower world today, and it's going to take us 45 minutes worth of journeying to go on this lovely little quest. Which in itself can be quite representative. If you quite easily swoosh off to the lower world, but you find it quite difficult, and it's quite a treacherous journey to get to the upper world, that can represent things. It can show that although you're very in touch with the past and ancestral spirits, and you've made your peace with them in the lower world, that getting to that place of new ideas and inspiration and moving forward means that actually you might be a bit anxious about the future, and you're not sure how that's going to go, and you look at it with some trepidation. As with everything else when journeying, it's all symbolic and it all means something, but it's personal to you exactly what it does mean and exactly how it will be shown to you.